Yos! Welcome back to another episode of the Parkitect campaign. Well, I guess the first episode, because we're kind of restarting it with Meadows, of course. We restarted the whole campaign, and I'm just going to restart it because I feel like I am better now with my skills in vanilla and modding in general. And so we're going to be doing kind of like a half and half sort of campaign playthrough, which means we're gonna be playing with like pretty much code mods, so like construction and coaster anarchy, but only with the vanilla props. So really, I will still have to actually build in vanilla style, but with actual, you know, more interesting rides, I guess, and more freedom to build with those pieces. I'll also be building with Transform Anarchy, which is a new mod, which is like a translation gizmo. I'll talk more about it in the time lapse. But before that, let's take a look at the park. The park is a large clearing on the frontiers of a maple forest. The perfect place to build your first park from the ground up. Easygoing guests, relaxed weather, and what more could you ask for? It's just one goal, which is have at least 200 guests in your park. And we start off with, I think, these calm rides, a bunch of calm rides, a bunch of thrill, and a spinning and a mini coaster, and one water ride, which I'm not gonna do, but I will do the swimming coaster. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the time lapse. Yo, hello, time lapse lively here. What's happening? We got a time lapse ahead of us, and of course, if you want to skip ahead, just for people who are like, I just want to see it built, skip ahead. There's time code below. Anyway, for the rest of you people, rest of you hooligans, I'm not gonna do anything crazy with this theme. I'm still trying to get used to vanilla again. I haven't built in vanilla in so long. It's like been forever. I've pretty much only built and modded, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Right away, we just get in a little shopping area, because I was like, that's probably first thing we need to do. And then also get into calm ride. I know a lot of times I say don't do calm rides and don't do like profitless rides, but for here, I'm just going for looks, and honestly, for Maple Meadows, it doesn't really matter. I don't think personally, and mostly I'm referring to like the Calm Rides video that I had a few years back, where I was like, Calm Rides are unprofitable, which I mean they are, unless you have like Maple Meadows, which is like kind of chill. Um, but yeah, we'll get in an actual roller coaster. Don't worry here. In this time lapse. We actually built two. Actually three. I miscounted. We don't really see the third one get built. Anyway, continuing on. We're not gonna do any crazy themes for this one, as I said, because I don't know. It's again, I'm not used to it, and I'm still trying to get to the use to the mods. And I did say I was using Construction Anarchy, I was using UI Utilities, Transform Anarchy, and all that stuff to get, like, those gizmos, the, like, amount of flexibility in pieces and scalability in every piece. So if you want that stuff, it should be on the Parkitect Depot, best, like, mods or whatever. That'll work out for you. This is actually a really cool thing I found. I found this glass piece that's meant to just hang over, like, entrances, but I instead used it as, like, a kind of support piece and window for this flower bed, which I thought was really clever. I was really happy about that. I think that's, like, the only genius thing I do in this, I'll be honest. The rest is, like, kind of basic, I'll be honest, with, my theming. I do want to do more interesting theming, um, but it's definitely like a struggle for me, and I hope to get better with this, like more vanilla gameplay and such. So hopefully we can fix that up. Um, Over here we're just trying to fill in the land here a bit to make it feel more grown in, and I don't fill up the entire park because I might, come back to it and just do it and then, post some pictures on the park Discord, but I don't think I'm gonna do it for this run at least, because it just takes too long, I'll be honest. One thing I didn't really think about until just now is I made this roof for the carousel, like, it's a nice little carousel roof, but then I put a hole in the middle, and, like, that doesn't really, like, prevent it from rain from getting in. So, like, I don't really know what the point of the roof is. It's there. Don't hate. I don't know what I'm doing. I do. I just am bad. I'll be honest. But yeah. Oh, yeah, another thing. I decided to use those cubes as, like, little stone pieces, because for some reason there's not really any, like, textured stone walls. I really thought there was, but I guess I've just been so far into modded that I didn't realize there were. So I had to use those. And for some reason, you can't blueprint cubes in vanilla or something. I don't know. It was being really buggy with that. And very odd. So I just had to place every single one of them, which was annoying, but, what is. I decided to put in some little, like, planters in here. I was gonna do, like, actual planters instead of these vine things, but it just didn't really fit, and so, yeah, it kind of works. Other thing it kind of does as a side effect is it also prevents you from seeing the backlot area back there. When I put in this fence upcoming, it actually does help with that, which is very nice. A lot of these trees are actually going to go later on, because the roller coaster will be going through this area, which, yeah. I started thinking about, like, what other rides I could do in this area, and it was kind of a struggle to kind of, like, figure that out. I didn't really know what direction I was going in for that, but yeah. The other thing I didn't realize as well is there's not that many pillars. I really thought there were a lot more pillars, and also there's no metal pillars. That's so weird to me, like, I'm so used to it, but, what ifs. We'll get there. That's when I did that fence. I was trying to figure out later on when this fence came in, and I was trying to remove it with curbs, and I was like, why isn't this working? That's because I actually placed it. So, yeah, I'm a dummy. Um, Nothing too crazy with the roof, pretty simple. With, like, poles and stuff and all that. Yeah. I guess it's, like, more, like, Victorian... No, it's not Victorian. It's, like, wood. Oh yeah, here's me trying to cover up all the bad decoration because I realized, after the fact, it's pretty terrible. This, for some reason, was really bugged. I don't know why this was bugged. Yeah. That was weird. I did a visit, what park was it? Oh, I visited Carowinds and, what's that other park that's cool? That's next to Carowinds? RE Forest one. Fun Spot, Atlanta. That one. That one's pretty cool. And I'm sure you've watched my Busch Gardens Park, Busch Gardens video, I mean. You probably saw, like, me talking about, how a lot of my inspiration recently has been from those two parks, roller coaster wise, not RE Forest, or Fun Spot, I mean, thing. But here, actually relates to none of that. I'll get back to the Carowinds and RE Forest thing. This is actually something I saw kind of recently, which was, what park was it? I think it's one of the London ones. I think, like, Alton Towers, maybe? With the pinball wizard one. I don't remember what it's called. But that one, which has, like, the crazy, like, back and forth with the spinning. Yeah, and then I also looked on RCTV, and I'll try to post a picture, like, here, if I remember. But, yeah, like, there was a one that was like that, and it was, like, sort of like this crazy, like, compact, condensed, like, crazy coaster, and I just thought, like, that's kind of cool, Why don't I do that? And so I did. Yeah. And I get maybe the launch isn't like, you know, probably like the best thing to do, but I was like, who cares? Or this invert, or this 0G roll. I don't know if that's a 0G roll. I don't know my inversions very well. Like, I know what a loop is. I know what a corkscrew is. I don't know the difference between like 10 different rolls. They're like, they all feel the same. I know they're not the same, and they don't feel the same. You know what I mean. Anyway, um, and yeah, I just thought that was kind of a cool coaster. I don't think I've ever built a coaster with this type before, like before this build. So that was kind of fun, playing with this, honestly. I tested to make sure it actually works. I actually have way too many cars on it at first. And I think, yeah, like, it does pretty well, actually. And it looks really good. We go back in as well and custom support it, of course. Because, why wouldn't you? Get that double wide path in there. And let's get our profit rolling, because right now we're losing negative 1,000. Which is not good. Yeah, here's me putting in that, like, dumb roof. I don't know why I did that. But it's kind of cute. I don't know. Yeah. The other thing I kind of did was doing, like, just basic natural areas. I didn't really make that many buildings. I just made the one building with the shops, and then one more with another shop, and then mostly just station buildings. That was pretty much it. So, yeah. And, yeah, it's nothing too crazy. I definitely think the custom support, if you can custom support, I would suggest doing it because it makes your parks and your roller coasters look so much better. I know you can't really do that much as in like vanilla, and of course I'm playing like modded vanilla, you know what I mean? Like, I get that. But if you can, I definitely suggest it because it definitely like helps with parks. Um, in that regard. So yeah, definitely do it if you can. It's definitely worth it. Now here I am, custom supporting like crazy. Again, it's so much easier with the gizmo, but a lot of this is actually on the grid, which, for people that know me, that's wild. I'm on the grid? I'm building on the grid? What? I know. This, of course, you can't do in vanilla, but you can kind of get close. You can at least do arrow supports. But yeah, I definitely think that if you custom support your roller coasters, they just look so much better. I mean, look at this. This has already made this coaster look 1,000 times better from what it was. So, I'm just saying. You don't have to, but I definitely think it makes it look amazing. I don't know what the deal was with those like gray cubes going down. I think the idea was for it to be like a castle that you like go through, but I kind of just like threw that idea out. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't working for me, and I just didn't like the direction it was going, so I just kind of tore it out and, sort of restarted that part, with just, basic theming. Yeah, if you, genuinely though, if you have actual, like, theming challenges you want me to do, like Cowboys versus Aliens, or like, I don't know, make a video game, like a certain video game theme as your build, like, throw it in the comments. I'll totally, like, attempt and try to do it, in one of these parks upcoming, but yeah, I am probably gonna run out of theme ideas pretty quickly through this park. That is one thing I struggle with when it comes to, like, that kind of thing. Again, a lot of this is just a lot of custom supporting. But it's kind of like, I kind of like it almost. Like, it's kind of rewarding in a sense. It just looks so good. And I don't actually know if these are like reasonable custom supports. This is more like Arrow. I feel like Intamin would have a little bit more gravitas, I guess. Um, but also, I guess like this is not an Intamin track. This is more like what, Schwarzkopf? No, this isn't like Schwarzkopf. What would this be? Like Mach? No. What's the Wild Mouse builder? Whatever that is. Like Sand Serpent. Yeah, I don't know. I assume there's one that's like pretty reasonable, but I'm not sure. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so many supporting. And then finally we get back to paths, and we're just slowly climbing through here. Yeah, we finally get on our first thrill ride, excluding the coaster, which is the White Belt. And I haven't really used this ride, but also I don't think I have ever seen this in my entire life. If anyone knows where these exist, because I literally have no clue. I don't think I've ever seen that type of thrill ride, like in my entire life. Um, yeah, I don't know. Oh, also another thing, I realized after building this coaster that you could see the bad decoration from the coaster, so I had to cover up all that so that all of it could not be seen. That was a mistake on my part. I forgot that, like, that's an issue in this game. You have to worry about those kind of things. I don't have to really worry about that as much in, like, when I'm making the Busch Gardens part, because, like, at the end of the day, I really don't care. And also, I don't really build that much, like, depot stuff and that kind of thing. Um, so, I'm not, like, super used to it, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. Uh, I'm just vibing and placing some rocks and doing all that nonsense. Had to put in 1,000 footers and everything. It's incredible. These footers remind me of, like, those arrow footers, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like those arrow footers are, like, the only ones that have them, like, connected in a row. And maybe I'm wrong. That might be just an all manufacturer's thing and just a contractor thing, maybe? But I feel like that's more of an arrow thing. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Is that arrow? What is that? I don't remember now. I don't know. I thought that was an arrow thing, like if you... Well, I guess that's not true, because you have, like, a B&M tattoo, right? Where, like, the footers all go into one footer, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like, or, like, a diagonal one going away from the straight one also connect together. Yeah, maybe they do just connect in all manufacturers. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I really have no clue. Yeah. Anyway, doing some crazy natural bushes. I was, like, curious how close I was, and already in, like, you know, 3 months? 2 months? We're already almost to, like, a fourth of the way there. And pretty much we get it before I'm, like, barely done with the park. And I'm like, okay, well, whoops. I didn't mean to finish so quickly. You really start off with so much money in this park. I don't understand. I get it, it's a first park, but the amount of money they give you is, like, insane. Like, I don't understand how people fail at this one, but also it is the first park, and also I'm used to coaster building. So I guess that's fair, actually. You know what? That's valid, everyone. I get that. My first park was actually, if I remember, I'll put a picture here. My first park for this, which I think was my first park ever, I did like maybe a bit of theming, and then I just blueprinted. And I feel like hindsight, wow, that's terrible. But also, that's kind of valid. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's valid in like learning like how people build. Like, I think I did like a water ride and a coaster ride, and I think that's valid in like learning that way. Um, and yeah, I do a bunch of fences through here for like safety, so no Americans are dumb. If you know what I mean. Um, yeah. And then, yeah, we get in a little twister on this side as well. I decided to pair them together because I thought, why not? And annoyingly, we got the Aqua Trucks coaster, which is a cool mod. And we will definitely be playing with a lot of modded rides in this, which I think is more fun. Be a hater if you want. I just, I'm just here to have fun, like in the spirit of the campaign. I know it's not for Milo. Okay, I'm just here to build. But yeah, like we'll probably play with that a bit. So, um, another thing we did is kind of launch this mini coaster. I'm not going crazy. It's like 20 miles an hour. That's not that crazy. But also like, this coaster is awful without like chain lift. Um, but honestly, I think we could have won easily without it. Um, like, you know, this coaster makes money, which, usually it doesn't, but, you know, people are flying in, with and without that coaster. Of course, getting our dirt spray in, so I can just cover it in bushes everywhere. Bush, 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 bush. All throughout the park. Yeah, and just, get it all in there. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's just pretty natural gardens kind of thing. I probably should have done like a river or like a lake feature in here, but I kind of forgot. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, I should have done that, honestly. I think the farthest I've ever actually gone in this campaign, now that I think about it, is like, is it Highway Hijinks, I think? Maybe Coaster Canyon. I think Coaster Canyon is my farthest I've gotten. Which, it'll be interesting when I get there, because, yeah, I haven't done it before. Or past, Coaster Canyon, I mean. Um, yeah. I forgot to custom sport this area, so I had to do that quickly as people were still here. And we're slowly getting close to our end of our money. Somehow. Even after all the $2,000 they gave us. But yeah, decorating is definitely be harder. I don't know how Silverette did it. The amount of money they give you, like, it's so little. I think you really just have to build a roller coaster, like, right away. In a lot of campaigns, and, like, hope for a good one, to start off with. But, I think I've kind of learned from, like, Astrotron's campaigns a lot, more so than, like, vanilla campaign. Especially because I feel like I think I've done more levels of Astrotron's thing. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not so. But yeah. And yeah, like, I mean, the people are flying in right now. Like, it's crazy. I think we get it by May. Do we get it before April? The end of April, I mean? I don't know. We might get it before the end of April. But I don't actually know. If we do. But we are pretty close to getting to that point. And yeah, got a little bit in there, put in some lights, because, there's absolutely no lights, and we're out of money, actually. So I'm just putting in a few things that I can afford. I was gonna do like a little paper lantern thing, but I thought that looked ugly. Be for real with you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be for real with you. Yeah. And now, let's hop right back into the real time. Yo! We are about to beat the goals, actually. We have this guy and this guy. Ignore the bankruptcy. We just had a rainstorm, so, profits weren't that great. Won't lie. But, in other news, we got a really good spinning coaster. Pretty good carousel. I actually think I did pretty good, with theming. There's probably a few things I could have done a little bit better. I probably want to clean this up a bit. I just didn't get the time to. But yeah, we just have one more dude, and it's Joseph Meadows. That's actually kind of on theme. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, coaster that we made. With this sort of theme. I don't know what kind of theme was going. I think I was just going for, like, more classic, you know. Parkitect, I kind of went hard on the supports, because I thought that was a lot more fun. Um, you know, than anything else, probably. But yeah, we just need to get 200 geists, and as long as no one leaves, we should have this in the bag. Yep. There we go. So I think that's it. Yep, we have. We've 100% completed it with a bankruptcy almost on thing. Um, so that was kind of good timing. But yeah, I really like the coaster. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of a ride through, I guess. It probably could have been better with how the blocks are set up. But it was kind of the only way I could get this ride to really function. Although this should probably be a lot less time waiting. Probably more like 15 seconds. That would probably increase profits a lot, actually. Nothing too crazy, you just have a little helix here. I'm kind of excited, I'm kind of happy about how the sports went through. I had to cover this stuff up because it was giving negative decoration. And it was quite bad. And yeah, I think the whole park turned out really awesome. I really like it. Yeah. Yeah, I really do. And yeah, that's that coaster. This coaster's not that crazy. I just did a small launch, which I thought might be better than a chain lift. And I think, you know, it's not vanilla, it's almost, but I'm just using Coaster Anarchy to make, you know, pretty, chill rides, if that's fair. Like, of course, this ride probably couldn't have had a launch, but I did it anyway because I think that's just a cooler, you know, ride in and of itself, and I think it's realistic enough, so you can't yell at me. But yeah, I might do maybe a little bit more. I might just show pictures and, like, video, of it just, you know, scrolling by, or maybe we'll hop right back into a time lapse to finish the rest of this park. I haven't decided yet, I'm gonna be honest. We have a corkscrew coaster, so actually I might stay and just kind of finish up the park. So yeah, let's do that. Yeah.